And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other.
So my sister sent me this text today. So it may seem like nothing, but it says, if racism doesn't exist, then why your parents don't want you dating black guys?
So we go with this question. What was the response from your parents when they noticed that you are dating a black guy?
Of why I date black men. Now, a lot of this is going to be very personal to me as a redhead. Having red hair, freckles, fair skin, these are...
Oh, you're the one with that black guy, right?
I met my wife from Richfield, Utah. She's from
Richfield.
Born and raised in the church. And so, great influence on me. She got disowned by her parents because she's dating a black guy.
Tricia says that from the day she married Mariah's father, who was part black and part Venezuelan, it was an uphill battle.
There's nothing that he could do that would win you over?
But she's gonna have to get over it.
I don't have to get over it.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, you're most welcome. For my returning viewers, thank you so much for always watching my videos. I've been seeing this on TikTok and I was like, what? Hold on, what is this? You know, sometimes you be on social media and then you land on some videos that leave you asking yourself or wondering, why would such a thing happen? So we have some video clips about white women sharing how their parents had refused them to date black men or men outside their race. And some of them are really grown-up women, like it happened long time ago. Some of them have been facing it even of recent. So let me not talk too much and we watch these clips, then we shall give our reactions. Let me catch up with you after they have played.
This old man came up to me and he was like, I hope you make better decisions in life. Just because I was with a black man.
They told me things like he's going to kidnap you and take you back to his country and this and like really crazy stuff. And I'm like, okay, never telling y'all anything. Like, and they wonder why I hide stuff. My first black boyfriend went crazy on me and just telling me, how dare you, you're not supposed to do this. Really just mess up things. So I was...
It's gonna be hard to deal with that.
Yeah.
And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. Y'all want to know why we like y'all's black men? Because they not y'all's black men. They're not. You don't know shit. You know, way back in the day, since we gotta go way back there, you know how we were separated and there was some still sneaky stuff going on, right? But as you know, things evolved, you know, got better. We started to mingle together, and that made a lot of us white and black folk happy. It did. And then we got to mingle together even more. And I think that the black man and the white woman just liked each other. I just think they liked each other. And you're mad about it? That's crazy.
So is your personal preference black men?
Yes.
Why? I'm curious.
Back when, many years ago, when schools didn't even allow whites and blacks to be in the same school, then father says, don't you get interested? And it's like, really? That's when I got interested, because they say don't. Secretly, I was this innocent little girl that said, F you. I'm going to do what I want to do in life.
On behalf of all black men, we thank you.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
So my sister sent me this text today. So it may seem like nothing, but it says, if racism doesn't exist, then why your parents don't want you dating black guys? And this is one of my most vivid memories from when I was a child. I remember this conversation like it was yesterday. She was sitting in the kitchen. I was in my bedroom, locked in because I was told to do so, and listening intently to the door, as all younger sisters should. It says, it's more about the kids. Mixed babies get treated differently. I'm 12 and in the 7th grade. We are not getting married and having kids. You have to break up with him. This is the #1 reason and the #1 memory I give whenever my husband asks why I think my parents are racist. It's also the #1 reason I hid my relationship with a black man from them when I was in high school. Racism is taught.
I met my wife from Richfield, Utah. She's from
Richfield.
Born and raised in the church. And so, great influence on me. She got disowned by her parents because she's dating a black guy.
Wow.
I wasn't white and I wasn't LDS.
Yeah. No, if you're in the culture, you get how that can push a small town.
But the biggest thing for me was the black part, right? Because, I went down one time to pick her up and they wouldn't let me in the house. And it ultimately came down to when we were dating, they had her come home. She was playing basketball at UVSC, which is UVU now. And the whole family knew we were dating, and mom and dad brought everybody together, and it's on a Monday, what we call family home evening. That's what she thought when she got there, but no, it was
intervention.
A bunch of chairs and a chair in the middle. Intervention. So she walks in a little surprised, and they let her have it. They went person to person. There was only one advocate, and that was her younger brother. Everybody else was like, I can't even repeat some of the things that they were saying. And then it came down to an ultimatum. It's either us or him. And she stands up and walks to the front door and she says, I choose him. That takes a hell of a lot to do. To stand up in your family and say, I choose this man because I see what you guys don't. And that was the beginning of kind of a tough road for her family-wise, because they didn't, other than her younger brother, they didn't speak to her for like 4 years.
Wow. Did they ever accept you?
Yeah, they came around.
So we go with this question. What was the response from your parents when they noticed that you are dating a black guy? When they noticed I am dating a black guy was the weekends when I usually go to Austria. They ask me, who are you meeting in Austria? What are you doing in Austria? And which kind of relationship is this? Every time you are going, every time you are coming, like they told me, my mother told me, let me tell you what she told me in Romania. Ori îți iei bagajele și pleci, ori încetezi cu plecatul. So it was like, they don't want me to have this relationship, and moreover, they did not meet or know how a black guy could treat me. They feel that maybe something is keeping me dating him, something like something. But I was like very specific to them, to tell them that this is my choice, and no matter whatever they will say or whatever they will do, that this is what I want to choose. So everything in one word, my parents were not happy. When we moved to Spain to get married, my mother has to help me in Romania with some papers. Who knows. And I tell you, the frustration was like very high. So I understand. It's not their fault. But when you have stubborn daughter, that's so it be.
Tricia says that from the day she married Mariah's father, who was part black and part Venezuelan, it was an uphill battle. What year was that?
1960.
Oh, boy. Were you ostracized by your own family? What happened with your own family?
Well, when I told my mother that I was going to marry a black man, she was very upset. She had the priest call me. And then I got married, because I was in love with him, and I just felt it was the right thing to do.
And did the family disown you afterwards?
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Basically, what, like, you still disowned, or
no,
were you able
my
to make
mother
peace
died.
about it? Yes.
My mother died. But for years and years, she never even told her brothers and sister, that I was married. I would go home to her house for, an occasion, generally a funeral.
But you could not bring Mariah's father home? No.
And
that was clear to you that you could not?
Absolutely.
This is all before I was born.
And I abided by her wishes. I didn't talk. I just avoided it. I didn't tell anyone I was married. No one asked me.
But in the neighborhood where you lived with your black husband, people knew you were married. So how were you treated then? Did you move into a black neighborhood, white neighborhood, mixed neighborhood?
Initially, we moved into a white neighborhood, and I was the person who purchased the house, because we knew that if he came with me, we wouldn't get the house. There wasn't anything overt that happened in that house. But then I thought, I looked around the neighborhood and I said, what a way to raise 2 children. There are no black people here. Let's find a mixed neighborhood.
And you did?
Impossible.
It was impossible.
I mean, we went to a mixed neighborhood. And then what happened was the black children didn't like my children because one of them looked whiter than the other. And the white children didn't like the other child who looked a little darker. And they didn't like us because we were living as a black and white couple, and that just wasn't done.
There's nothing that he could do that would win you over?
But she's going to have to get over it.
I don't have to get over it.
And mixed with white and black, you don't know what you are, you don't know what you're going to do. I mean, there's a lot of people like her that just don't accept it, and she's just sitting up there, she's just the biggest bigot and a racist.
Part 2 of why I date black men. Now, a lot of this is going to be very personal to me as a redhead. Having red hair, freckles, fair skin, these are all things that I've been teased for growing up, right? For whatever reason, black men and women have loved it about me. They appreciate it. It seems to be something they're attracted to. I have always felt more comfortable and gone along with black men and women. It's just a thing. Black men seem to appreciate my body type a lot more. Some racists want to be like, oh, it's just because they allow you to be fat. No, I can be skinny, and your girl is still gonna have hips, thighs, a butt. I can't help it. I've never had them ask me to dye my hair. I've never had them ask me to tan, like I have an option of tanning. Anyway, it just seems like I'm accepted for me in whatever form that is. I feel safe with black men. A lot of you got really onto me not talking about BBC as one of the reasons I date black men. And it's not, okay? I did say intimacy, I did, but not every black man has a BBC anyway. But I would never date an entire race for the hope that they're packing. That is just weird. However, I will say the bedroom activities with black men and women have been top tier. I feel like I'm more than a body. I feel like they are interested in me enjoying the experience as well. Sometimes, guys, we're just attracted to what we're attracted to. I don't sit there and try to dissect why do I like this person kind of thing. Especially initially where you don't really know them, but you do know that there's attraction there. It's not a fetish. It's oh, I like talking to this person. A few people have brought up that it might be the fact that black men hit on me more than white men, and that is true. White men do still hit on me. I know some of you guys are so pressed. Your fellow white guys still like me, even after knowing that I date black guys. But usually black guys are the ones that hit on me the most, and it's always been that way. I must have the look.
Oh, you're the one with that black guy, right? Man, my parents would me if I brought home a black man. Dead ass, someone said that to me in high school. I lost all of my friends, one by one, the moment I started dating my now husband. And they could say all they want that it wasn't because he was mixed or black or a dark individual. But I don't know, like, what other reasons are there? Like, that's some bullshit. I'm not even joking. I lost all of my friends, and even going into work, the women I would work with, once they found out my husband was a person of color, black, they had a million questions, sexual questions mostly. And then I learned that gingers are sexualized. And I learned black people are sexualized, black men are sexualized, and some rumors are better than others. But it never really bothered me that much, to be honest, because I'm open. I'm like, okay, we could talk about what you want to talk about. Like, I'm not ashamed. The fuck? The exact opposite. I'm so proud of my husband. I'm so proud to be with him, and I'm proud of myself. And us together, we a goddamn powerhouse. We a power couple, and we hot. We look great. And more importantly, our relationship, our communication is better than most people I've talked to about their relationships. Like, they're always so quick to talk some shit about their husband or say some nasty words about him or say that their ex-life is awful and they don't ever do things. And I'm like, oh, sounds like you in the wrong marriage. Glad that's not me. Glad that's not me. When are we gonna move on from this? Ever? I don't see it ever changing. It just seems like such a silly, stupid thing to be held up on. It is a stupid thing to be held up on. And I feel like more people should talk about this. More people that look like me should talk about this. 110%. Because maybe, just maybe, people will start thinking differently. Or at least y'all know that not all of us, light skins, think the same.
This did not just start yesterday. We have seen those ladies who are even really grown-up women saying that their parents had not accepted them to date outside their race. And when some of them went ahead and dated, they were conditioned, like, do not come with that black man in this house. For most of American history, interracial relationships were illegal until the case of Loving and Virginia. Many states banned interracial marriages, and that case of Loving and Virginia literally is the one that made black and white marriages legal. Yeah, because before that, under the systems of people like Jim Crow's laws, where society was built on racial separation, and for centuries, of course, there was a very specific fear narrative that black men were dangerous to white women. And of course, that stereotype was used to justify violence, segregation. So when a parent says to their daughter that, I just don't feel comfortable with that, sometimes they may be just repeating the generational fear that they did not even create but inherited. Like we have had those elderly women even sharing, including Maria Carey's mother. Until the 1950s, 60s, this segregation was still happening in the US. It was like breaking the law for a non-white person to go and live in the only white places. And if you brought home a black man, it was seen like, I think, an abomination. You're breaking the law. This guy is dangerous to you. You are just a white girl, and this is a black man. You know, they used to have that fear that their kids would get in trouble if they got into relationships or marriages with these black men, which is, of course, sad, but that is what was happening that time. However, some parents have still carried it on up to today. Some do not allow their daughters or their white daughters to date black men or men outside their own race. Then, of course, the stereotypes also existed and still exist about black men. Some parents subconsciously believe that black men are more aggressive, they are more hypersexual, less stable financially, and more likely to cause harm. But where did this all come from? It came from the media, what the media shows, then the crime statistics without any context, the political rhetoric, and the historical propaganda. So when you grow up seeing certain narratives reinforced over and over, of course your brain starts associating race with risk. Even if you consciously say that I'm not racist, I'm not white, and the uncomfortable truth is that many parents think that by doing this, they are protecting their daughters. So they don't see it as hate, instead as caution. But of course, caution should not be built on stereotypes. Otherwise, that makes it biased. Yeah, and then we had, I think it was Maria Carey's mother. She said her mom told her that you cannot bring that black man into this house and do not even ever talk about it. And then her mom also never shared with any of her friends or families that her daughter had married a black man. So we can call this as fear of social judgment. Some white parents worry about what the extended family will say, what church members will say, what their community will think, and how it will be reflected on them. And of course, even today, in some social circles, interracial dating is still whispered about. Sometimes it's just quiet embarrassment. In fact, some families are more worried about optics than their children's happiness. We had there even this young lady saying that she lost many friends just because for her, she got married to a black man. Then we also have the keeping the bloodline mentality. There are some families that still believe in keeping their bloodline pure. And that mindset, of course, overlaps with the white supremacist ideology. This is where sometimes they say that, I just want my grandchildren to look like us. It would be easier if she dated within her own race because life is already hard. Here is something interesting. Sometimes we see that a white man dating a black woman receives less outrage but more intensity when a white daughter dates a black man. And why is this so? Historically, white femininity was framed as something to protect, and black masculinity was framed as something threatening. So that combination created one of the strongest taboos in the American culture. And even today, those subconscious dynamics can linger. However, this is not to say that all white parents are like that. There are plenty of white families who fully embrace interracial relationships, that love their black sons-in-law, and even raise mixed grandchildren proudly. Although currently it's no longer a big issue, but there are some few families that still want to keep their bloodline pure. And with that, we shall end here for today. When a girl loves a boy, however much the parents may be against that relationship, sometimes girls become more stubborn than even the boys. She will give up on anything just to be with her man or just to be with her boy. So that's why you see some of those women broke all the rules and still went on and married their black boys or their black boyfriends at that time. Up to today, there are also white girls who are breaking the rules and going on to marry their black boyfriends or fiancés. So drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this? Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's catch up in the next one.